Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have returned with a brand new video here, obviously. This one's going to be a little different. It's not going to be necessarily a product review, more like a product preview, because today is actually kind of a special day. I was trying to film this yesterday, Friday, October the 30th. Unfortunately, did not get a chance to. But I have something special here. Now, this is an unboxing of sorts, as well as a preview/overview. Now, I've already unboxed it because I had to do pictures plus, just general excitement. But today I have the PS5 Dualsense controller. As you can see, I did leave the price sticker on there solely for the fact that, just that way you can see next gen. I don't know why it's blurry. My focus is set to auto. So regardless, now you're seeing how I see. Let me see. That didn't help at all. So anyway, sorry about the terrible focus, but it is compatible with the PS5 only. This one just shows the contents. I don't know why it's so blurry. This is incredibly stupid. But regardless, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. Now this, I'm not as big of a PlayStation fan as I am Xbox. So this kind of has me a little bit sus, mainly because, I have a PS4, I have an Xbox One. I'm getting the PS5 first, unfortunately, just due to lack of funds. I really want the Series X, but, beggars can't be choosers. I paid for my PlayStation with literal blood as I donate plasma, so. But this is kind of that first crack of the box type deal. Get my mouse out of the way. So again, I apologize for the lack of focus, seeing as how this does not want to focus. Sorry for the clicking and whatnot. But, real quick in the packaging, you get your instructions, basically your warranty information, your instruction manual. Nobody really cares about that. And that's it. So as far as the controller itself, so it's a chonker. It's not heavy at all. I mean, right around in here, it kind of is, but I'm assuming that's because that's where the motors and stuff are for the rumble and the haptic feedback for the triggers. It does run off of USB-C, which, just as a reference, I have a MacBook Pro, which uses USB-C. I have an Android phone, which uses USB-C. Voila. And it's charging right now. You can see the orange light, which, I mean, on my crappy webcam, it probably does not look orange. But it is charging. It does light up orange. The light sensor is now in the touchpad, like it's around the touchpad. Speaking of the touchpad, I mean, it still feels, to me, the same as the PS4. It just doesn't feel as, glossy. So it doesn't feel like there's instant grease or sweat or anything on it. So I'm very curious to see how that's going to work. Obviously, you have your, I don't know if you can see it, which of course you can't because my webcam is crap. But right where my finger is a microphone, or speakers for the controller to talk to you again. Right underneath that is the actual PlayStation button, which I'm trying to get this to focus. You can slightly see it, but there's the PlayStation button. So instead of it being a circle like the PS4, it's an actual button now. And then right under that, you actually have your mic mute button, because this does have a built-in microphone. And then you have, which is that little slot there. And then underneath of it, you do have your more traditional headset jack, 3.5, so you can plug a headset in. You have your options button, which now just has 3 lines above it, going one direction. And then you have your create button, which is going to be your share button, basically. It'll launch, most likely, the editor for you to edit your videos and pictures. The cool thing with this, though, is the lines are pointing upwards versus that way. Your face buttons, obviously, webcam is not deceiving you here. They are colorless, so they actually match the color of the device or of the console itself / controller. And then on this side, you do have your D-pad, which is the exact same way. So it's going to be literally colorless. You do have the up, down, left, right being gray, whereas it's translucent, so you can see through to the actual color. Now, I have been told that I am apparently colorblind. You can't see it on this because, again, crappy webcam. But seeing this in person, everybody, every video I've seen, my girlfriend, my mom, my friends, everybody has said that this controller is more gray than it is white, with obviously this being black, the analog stick's black, and the triggers and stuff being black. To me, this controller looks bright white. Now, I don't know. I've never been diagnosed with color blindness, but I'm assuming I might be colorblind. Because, again, to me, it's white. For those of you who are picking up a PS5, you'll understand what I mean once you actually get the console in your hands, once you get the controller in your hands. Now, obviously, this is just the controller. I don't have the system, not yet anyways. Was it 12 days? So expect an unboxing there. I will be doing the unboxing. I did get the $500 disc version because I'm classic. I love having a disc physical collection. So I will be unboxing that, as well as Godfall Ascended Edition and Spider-Man Miles Morales Ultimate Edition. Now, obviously, those aren't collector's editions, so it's most likely just going to be cool cover art and, you know, a download code. But still, unboxing. I also picked up the Dualsense double controller charge station. Now, GameStop saying that that's probably going to be in on launch day because they received this bad boy, the media remote, and I think they said that they had gotten the Pulse headset. Not entirely sure on that, though, because I can't remember. It was yesterday, and well, I've been playing a lot of Watch Dogs Legion, so a lot of stuff going on. But no. So as far as the comfortability, I'll say the one thing I wanted to point out too is, unlike the PlayStation 4 controller, the controller isn't rounded anymore. It's actually got this like split, kind of like the console or Astro Boy or Astrobot. So it's a little, I don't know, I guess it's a little unsettling at times. You know, if your hand slips, if your hand slips down, like maybe you're losing your grip or something playing all night, and you feel it's not sharp. It's just, it's not one flat design anymore. It's actually separate. So it's, you know, two separate pieces of plastic being put together. Analog sticks click in great. The L1 and R1 buttons actually, if I don't know if you can see it, because I don't know how well this is. I gotta wait and see if my camera will pick it up. If it won't, which, I mean, you can kind of see the outline there. But the L1 and R1 buttons are actually a lot bigger than the PS4 version, or bigger than they've ever been, honestly. First taking this out of the box, I honestly was instantly reminded of a Switch Pro controller. So one of the things, though, that I personally like about this is the fact that while, yes, my thumbs will still occasionally hit if I'm doing the analog sticks in that direction, I do like the fact that my entire hand, which I don't have a big hand. I don't have a small hand, but I don't have a big hand. But it fits around it quite nicely, so I have a nice grip on it. Now, unfortunately, unlike the Xbox controllers, it does not have like a studded grip or like a rubberized texture, so it is plastic. So it will get sweat on it. It will get slippery if you're, you know, eating and gaming, which I think a lot of us unfortunately do. Bad habit, but if you're eating and gaming, unfortunately, it's probably something that's going to happen. Same thing with the triggers and the analogs. The analogs actually have somewhat of a raised grip around the side or on the outside. The middle is just like normal. Again, touchpad, not too bad. I mean, it's a button. Can't really do anything with it until, you know, get the console and you can start swiping and stuff. I'm hoping Spider-Man Miles Morales has some kind of functionality with it. And then the buttons, I mean, none of them feel like, you know, like they're sticking or anything. I know sometimes with those first run controllers, especially, you know, that first production run, some of the buttons can stick and stuff, but everything feels nice. Again, I can't wait for the 12th to get the console and Spider-Man, and start swinging around and check out this haptic feedback. So as far as the controller itself goes, I mean, as far as a preview, again, I don't really have a way to test it because it doesn't work on the PS4, and obviously the system's not out for another 12 days, 11, 12 days. So as far as the controller itself goes, just the functionality and feel, I would say it definitely feels a lot better than the PS4 controller. My number one complaint with the PS4 controller was that it just felt cheap. I even have a story I like to tell for just people who generally want to know that when I was playing God of War back in 2018, I was doing the Valkyries, and I was on the final Valkyrie, playing on the second to hardest difficulty. And for anybody who's played God of War knows, you got to hold down the R2 button for your power-up attack, for your heavy attack. So you can just press it and it'll do a heavy attack, but if you hold it, it charges it to do extra damage. And I was in the middle of charging it, and I held it down, I let go, did the attack, and then when I went to go push it again, all I felt was cushion. Now keep in mind, I was playing on the Glacier White PS4, which was only 2 months old. That came out in February of 2018. I had gotten God of War in April of 2018. So it was one of those where the controllers just felt cheap. Now this does not feel cheap. This actually feels like it might be durable. It is. I don't know what type of battery they're using, but I can definitely tell in the back, right around where the battery would be, it definitely feels a little bit heavier. So the bulk of it comes from the middle. Now the outside edges, again, don't really feel all that heavy. Round the back of the controller where the triggers are, yes, because I'm assuming, again, vibrating motors plus haptic feedback. But on an overall scale, because I feel like I've kind of dragged this on a little bit too long, but on an overall scale, does it feel like a $70 controller? Yes. I feel like Sony, I know I rag on Sony a lot when it comes to their accessories, but I really feel like they might have found their mark. Again, I'm not too keen on the double analog sticks being in the same spot. Growing up with the PlayStation 2 and then swapping to the Xbox and then the Xbox 360, Xbox One, I'm kind of used to that model of the left analog stick being up here, right analog stick being where it's at. But that being said, I do have to say that this definitely does not feel cheap. It feels like this is probably going to last for a while. Now, I am glad I picked this up to have that extra, just because, day one consoles, you want to try to keep everything intact for as long as possible. So have that backup. Plus, if the girlfriend ever wants to play like Call of Duty or something, boom. But as far as the controller itself goes, yeah, I would definitely say, is it worth $70? Yes. Do I think the price should have been increased to $70? No, but that's another story for another time. When it comes down to it, when it's all said and done, the controller feels great. So I can only imagine what it's going to be like once the console is released and we can start playing. So, like I said earlier in the video, here in another week and a half, I will be back with an unboxing for the PS5 itself, the Dualsense charge station, as well as the Spider-Man Miles Morales Ultimate Edition and the Godfall Ascended Edition, excuse me. And then I'll have, on the 10th, I'll actually have a small unboxing of the Xbox Series S/X controller. I did the blue shock blue, sorry. I did the shock blue one, just that way I could have it for my Xbox One, so I can do the share function, so that way I no longer have to tap the guide button. So anyway, though, for now, that's the Dualsense PS5 controller. I'll see you guys in about another week. Later.